everybody, it's Karen here. Sorry I haven't been too many videos lately. It's been kind of crazy with end of school year and summertime and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to share this video with you today. I'm going to walk you through a process video for the final page in my Maine trip album. And I'm really happy with how this album has been working. I have been using the Cape Cod Collection from Close to My Heart, and I'm very happy to say I am down to, this is all I've got left. Just some scraps, so a few stickers, and a few embellishments are all I have left of this stash. So I'm really happy with how this has worked out, but I wanted to kind of show you what I go through when I do a layout. Now, this is a 12 by 12 sketch that I started with for this, but I work in 8.5 by 11 for this album. So I do a little bit of converting and just kind of give you an idea of my process. What I do is I will write what I think are the sizes for the different components if the sketch doesn't already come with them. And then what I do is I do a little bit of conversion to figure out what will work for an 8.5 by 11 page. So let's move this out of the way a little bit. So I just want to go through this. So what I typically do is I'm going to change my photo sizes to what I'm going to need for this particular page. And I'm also here changing this from a portrait orientation to a landscape orientation, since it's the four of us at our final dinner out while we were up in Maine for a little vacation. So I have my photos printed. And then what I've done is I've gone through and cut my papers. One thing I did do with this is I decided to use craft paper for all of the pages in this particular album, because I wanted to kind of give a cohesiveness across all of the pages, and because as well as working with the Cape Cod Collection. So I've already kind of pre-cut, got my embellishments already picked out, I've already got my title, but I've already done all of my pre-cutting for all of this various pieces. So I'm just going to walk you through how I'm going to do my assembly on it. So just going to add my first layer. Now, I did a little bit of cheating here. If you can't really tell by the photo, this is actually a couple pieces put together. I just kind of merged the patterns because I will be covering a good portion of the patterns with the other papers. So this is my first piece. But one of the things that's nice is I, put some scraps together to make a larger piece, but just kind of tried to line up the patterns so that I can hide what I'm doing. I know it's not exactly, kosher, but I don't care because it was just kind of fun to use some of this up. Now I'm going to offset this particular mat a little bit on the page, move it over because since I am going to a landscape format from portrait, so I'm going to move that there. Didn't put save some space underneath here because I do need to tuck my title underneath. So I'm going to add this circle here and get that right there. And then I've got my strip. But yeah, I've been using 8.5 by 11 I did it for all of my 2023 pictures, and I'm continuing with my 2024 layouts. I've kind of enjoying working with that format. It's just been kind of fun. Just something a little bit different. And, I don't know, I kind of like the smaller. I also like the challenge of converting the pages to the 8.5 by 11 format. Okay, this is a little bit of a zip strip. And then my photos. Now, what I did, I already pre-matted this photo on some white cardstock. I like to mat a focal photo, and then what I'll do is I'll also put it on with 3D foam tape. So I'm just going to put this here. I'm going to move it over just a little bit at the edge of this. And then I've got my little tab, which I die cut with the Tags and Tabs die cut set. I'm just going to put that up here. And then what I have is I did a little tag, just took some white cardstock, corner rounded the edges. I used a little punch I have in my stash to punch a hole in it. And I'm going to put this down first before I put my other photos down. because I want to make sure I've got enough room for my title above. So I'm just going to move this slightly here. And then what I usually do with this, and I'll show you once I get it all in, I usually put a glue dot to kind of figure out where I'm going to put this string. And then I'm going to add my 2 photos down here. This was a fun place in Portsmouth, New Hampshire that we had a really nice dinner, and I absolutely loved the pad thai. I really enjoyed it. And then we just wandered around Portsmouth a little bit before we headed back, because we were staying in Ogunquit for the weekend. So, you know, you'll be able to see all of these layouts on my blog and on my Facebook page. So you can kind of see what we did and where we went and what we saw. So there's that. Now I'm going to add my title. And I always kind of work from left to right just because I want to make sure it all fits. So I'm just going to add my adhesive on the back of these pieces. Sometimes these are the chipboard alphabets, letters, and I'm going to, have this. So I'm just going to add my title. Oh, that fits nicely. And then my last bits, I'm going to get some glue dots out, because with the acrylic shapes, definitely you want to make sure you're using glue dots to adhere. And my tendency is to work in groups of 3s with my embellishments. I don't know, I learned that at some point in time years ago. So that, and then put this little conch shell. I have absolutely loved working with this Cape Cod collection. It has been so much fun. It's been a great collection. I love the colors in it, and being from Massachusetts and pretty much growing up on Cape Cod, it really definitely speaks to me in terms of the style of it. So there's that. But that pretty much is it. But what I'm going to do now, the other pages I've done in this album, I have done a white, using a white gel pen and a ruler, done some form of faux stitching on it. Now I've done borders and around the edges of it, around elements and such. So I think I'm just going to do today, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do a line at the top and the bottom. And this is what I do when I do faux stitching. I just take my handy dandy ruler, and I am just going to take my white gel pen, make sure I'm not off the camera, there we go. And I'm going to do a border across the top and across the bottom. So I'm not going to do around the whole thing, just to kind of give, I don't know, just kind of, it unifies it with the other pages in this particular trip album, but also with the craft paper, I find sometimes it just kind of gives it that extra finishing touch to the layout. And I've liked how these stitches have looked on the pages. One more. Yes, I've like I said, I've done them around elements on a page, on elements on a page, or around the border of a page, on the various pages in this. And I will be doing a layout share video, when I get all of these complete. I just have to add a little bit of pieces here and there to make sure that the layouts are all done. And then I'll show you guys all of the layouts and how they kind of coordinate all together. And this was a fun little 3-day weekend that we did as a family up to Maine. Stayed at a beautiful Airbnb up in Ogunquit. Had a blast wandering around Ogunquit. And yeah, I think I'm gonna I'll probably put a glue dot here to hold that down. But so this is my final layout from my Ogunquit trip album, featuring the Cape Cod Collection from Close to My Heart. And thank you guys for joining me. I hope you like this, and I will have links to my blog posts on this video on my YouTube channel, as well as you can see this also on my Facebook page. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you like it, and I look forward to showing you some more videos again in the future. Thanks so much. Have a great day.